Hi, so I'm not sure if anyone else has had this problem, but it was kind of confusing for me. I wanted to mount a couple of amps, or I'm upgrading the stereo here, so to the back seat here. And this particular generation of the Civic, it looks like it's not all metal back here. There's actually just one metal bar here that's about 3/4 of an inch thick or wide that comes across the back kind of, and then it comes over here too. And then there's just like bars. There's like, I think there are 3 bars here that go across. So you can't really take a board and drill it in because there's only metal up here at the top to drill it in. You can't drill into these other bars that are going across the back. So what I realized was that these are actually zippers on the side. And if you pull it out from the bottom, you can see it's all tucked in here. It was kind of hard to get out, but it's just a zipper that's like, there's not even an end. So I guess if you zipped all the way down, your zipper would come off. But I unzipped those, so let me do that just a second here. And then I got a piece of let's see, turn the light on again, of a 1/2 inch MDF, and realized that I could slide it back in underneath this. So it goes, it comes all the way over here because there's this part here when the seat comes back. I didn't want it to hit that, so it comes to the bottom, and then it comes to right up about here because that's where this top part comes in. So it comes right under that when it closes. So, and to fasten it to the rods, I use zip ties. So I'll show where I drilled 2 holes that go, one above the bar, 1 below the bar, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. So 4 zip ties total. And I think it's gonna hold it really tight. It seems very sturdy. Maybe later I'll throw a couple of screws in here, the self-tapping, to go through the 1/2 inch there and go into the metal if I can find it, right? I think this tape is where it's at. But anyway. Okay, so here's the MDF I used. I got, there was like a big sheet of it at Home Depot, so I had them cut as many to the size that I needed. This is 15 inches by 17.5 inches. That's what seemed to fit in that area just about perfectly. So I have 3 of these, I just in case I made some mistakes or something, but the first one went pretty well. So I used a, was it 7/32 bit here, and that was just the right size for these zip ties. Here's what I was talking about for those zip ties in the MDF board. So this is just one that I practice on. So you can see where I drilled the 2 holes here, and then I did make a little channel or path there that's, I kind of drilled into the board just enough so that, actually on this side, I drilled in just enough, sorry, on this side, so that it would lay flush. Maybe you can feel it there, just tiny bit a bump, but that helped it get down flush there. Where there's more room, because actually, so the boards had to reach all the way in here, and there's some padding that comes on top of the rod. So what I did is I took like a nail and I just to get through the padding to start make a hole to pull the zip ties through. So, and then I pulled the zip ties up and then around and through, so that below the board is where they tighten up. So that one's facing this way, and then the one on top is facing that way. And once I fished them through there, which was kind of hard, then I was able to tighten them up, and there's enough room to kind of to get under here to tighten it. I didn't tighten any of them first. I just left them kind of loose there. I went and did the other side, and then left those loose, and then I tightened them all up. And so even when these 2 are tight, you can still get in over there and tighten that one and the other one, because there's room to reach down below and grab it and tighten them. So I don't think it's going anywhere. I'm going to put 1 amp here for speakers, and then 1 amp here for a subwoofer, and then the little power splitters and the ground splitter and stuff kind of down below here. So I've just kind of staged out the equipment that's going to go here. So it's going to be this MTX is the amp for the speakers. It's a 4-way. I can't remember, I think it's like 75 RMS per speaker, and then this is the Alpine mono amp for the sub. I think this one's 600 RMS. So I'm gonna get some JL sealed sub thing, the 212-inch one. I guess they're like out of stock for, I'm gonna have to wait for a while, but I think this one's right about at the right power to power those. And then I have some kicker speakers that I did earlier in the back here. And then also I changed them up in the front. Okay, so I finally got the amps mounted and everything. So this is just the head unit that's powering it. It's just a Sony. It's not a real expensive one at all. I think it was like $119. So it just has a CD player and Bluetooth. But it did have the 4 amp pre-outs for the, I guess for the 4-channel amp and then for the sub amp. So I had six total, right? 6 total RCA plugs. So I've got all the wires run through the other side of the car, including, it's kind of hard to see the Alpine. Where is that? So it kind of doesn't really fit in. You can't really tell in the day that it's not completely covered. So I might find some plastic, something to put in there to fill in the gaps. So it did have to be mounted sideways. It's not perfect, but it's better than kind of mounting it here because it's just out of the way and it seems to kind of fit. I put it over to one side so that it would stay in there better, but it's in there pretty good. Anyway, I have to find kind of a more permanent way to mount that. Maybe I still have this piece that came out, so I guess I could like cut it out or something like that. So anyway, that's where the control for the sub is. So let's check out the trunk. So here they are. The board that I slipped under the carpet and zip tied in, it seemed super tight and that it was going to hold well, but I went ahead and put in a couple of self-tapping screws, one here and one here, just for extra reinforcement, because that's where that bar goes across the top. That's about, an inch or so. So now it's like on there super tight there, and these are bolted into the MDF, and they're on there really tight. And then I just for the ground distribution block and the power distribution block, I just use Velcro, like some of that Scotch, like super heavy duty Velcro, and also I grounded it to here. Let's see, I can't pull that open though, but there's a nice piece of metal here that I just was able to scrape the paint off, and then I just drilled one self-tapping screw in with the washer, and was able to do that. So these are free to move from the back seat. I can undo the seat and fold it in so that I can make adjustments when the sub comes to the high pass filter and all that good stuff. So that's it.